Picture this. A moonless night in 1947. Roswell, New Mexico. A deafening crash splits the silence. Military trucks swarm a desolate ranch, their headlights slicing through the dust. Soldiers scramble, collecting twisted, shimmering metal inscribed with symbols no human hand could carve. Locals whisper of bodies small, gray, with eyes too large for this world, hauled away in black vans. The government calls it a weather balloon, but classified files leaked in 2025 reveal a truth too wild to swallow. A spacecraft, not of Earth, studied in secret bunkers like Area 51. Why the cover-up? What did they find that night that still haunts the halls of power? And what if this was not the first time beings from the stars touched our world, leaving relics and secrets buried in the sands of time? Or imagine this. Afghanistan 2021. A U.S. patrol vanishes in the mountains. A rescue team follows only to face a nightmare. A 12-OT giant with fiery red hair and double rows of teeth charging from a cave. Spear in hand. Bullets rain down, felling the creature. But its body disappears, airlifted to a secret base. Soldiers swear it happened, yet official reports deny it. Was this a surviving Nephilim? A hybrid born of ancient alien visitors or something else? A crypto-extraterrestrial? A hidden race living among us? Why do these stories keep surfacing only to be buried again? Could the truth rewrite everything we know about humanity's origins? And then the Bermuda Triangle. 1945. Flight 19 vanishes into thin air. Pilots radioing about spinning compasses and a blinding white light. In 2023, a deep-sea drone finds geometric structures on the ocean floor too perfect to be natural, too ancient to be ours. Are these ruins of Atlantis? An alien outpost lost to a forgotten cataclysm, or a portal still active, swallowing ships and planes? Governments stay silent, but the question burns. What lies beneath those cursed waters? And why are we not allowed to know? These are not just stories. They are cracks in the facade of history. Glimpses of a past where beings from beyond, call them watchers, anarchy, or gods, walked among us, shaped us, and left behind relics too massive, too precise to be human. In Baalbek, Lebanon, stones weighing 1,000 tons sit in perfect alignment, defying modern engineering. In Egypt, sarcophagi big enough for giants lie empty, their purpose erased. In Ohio's ancient mounds, skeletons over 7 feet tall with oversized skulls were unearthed in the 1800s only to vanish into museum vaults. The Smithsonian, some say, hides them to protect a narrative that keeps us ignorant of our true origins. Why is it fear of chaos or control over a truth too vast to handle? Crop circles spiral across fields, appearing overnight with patterns too complex for human hands. In 1989, a Wiltshire farmer saw a glowing orb craft, a spiral that pulsed faintly in the dark. Stalks bent, not broken, with no trace of footprints or tools. Are these messages from the same beings who taught humanity the secrets of the stars? Sumerian tablets speak of the Anunnaki, who came from a planet called Nibiru, mixing their essence with ours to create humans as laborers. The Book of Enoch, found in 1946 among the Dead Sea Scrolls, tells of watchers, celestial beings who defied their mission, mated with human women, and birthed the Nephilim, giants who devoured the earth until a flood washed them away. Were these angels or aliens? And why do their stories echo in every culture? From Greece's titans to Patagonia's towering tribes, DNA holds more clues. In 2025, geneticists found anomalies in our genome sequences that look engineered unlike any other primates. Could these be traces of alien tampering? A spark that ignited our leap from cave dwellers to city builders. The dawn of Marley knew of Sirius B, a star invisible without telescopes centuries ago. claiming it came from fish-like beings from the sky. Across the Pacific, Polynesian chants tell of starboard navigators who taught navigation and vanished. Are these myths or memories of a cosmic intervention that shaped us? The conspiracy deepens. Leaked documents from 2022 claim the U.S. holds alien tech anti-gravity engines. Energy weapons from crashes like Roswell, studied in black site labs. Why hide this? Is it to keep power in the hands of a few? Or because the truth would unravel society? In China's Taran Basin, mummies with red hair and giant frames were found, then quietly removed from public view. In 2024, hacked Smithsonian images showed oversized skulls labeled anomalous, dismissed as fakes. Yet, the stories persist like whispers from a past we're not meant to remember. Let us step back to the Book of Enoch, where the story begins. Hidden for centuries, this text describes the Watchers' descent to Mount Hermon, their oath to take human wives, and the chaos that followed. The Nephilim, their offspring, were not just tall. They were monstrous, consuming crops, livestock, then humans. Their hunger broke the world, and the flood was no mere storm, but a cosmic reset to erase their corruption. But some survived. The texts hint scattered in remote places, their bloodlines lingering in kings and secret societies. Could modern abductions reported by thousands be the Watchers' descendants continuing their experiment? Are crop circles their way of signaling a return? The Anunnaki too left their mark. Sumerian tablets say they mined gold, not for wealth, but for survival, using it to shield their planet's atmosphere. Science confirms gold's use in space tech today. Were these gods advanced scientists? Their tools mistaken for magic. Their images carved in stone show winged figures holding strange devices. Watches, rods, or something more. The Bible's Adam formed from dust mirrors Summa Adamu, created to serve across cultures from Egypt's Thoth to Mesoamerica's Quetzalcoatl. The story repeats. Beings from above brought knowledge, then vanished, leaving us to piece together the fragments. Archaeology fuels the mystery. In Puma Punku, Bolivia, stones bear cuts so precise they suggest laser tools, yet date back thousands of years. In 2020, a Turkish farmer uncovered Göbeklit's pillars older than Sumer, aligned with Sirius. Were these built by humans or guided by those who knew the stars? Off Japan's coast, Yonaguni's submerged terraces hint at a drowned city. Perhaps Atlantis, swallowed when seas rose after the Ice Age. Plato said, Egyptian priests told of Atlantis, a civilization of immense power destroyed for its hubris. Was it human or an alien colony lost to time? The questions multiply, each more unsettling than the last. Why do governments seal away these truths? Are the elite guarding alien bloodlines? As some claim the Illuminati do, descended from ancient kings chosen by the Anunnaki. Why do ancient texts from Enoch to India's Mahabharata describe flying machines and weapons that blind like the sun? Could our tech, nuclear power, space travel, be rediscoveries of a lost age, not inventions? And if the Watchers or their kin return as prophecies warn, will we greet them as gods or fear them as invaders? These mysteries are not new. They are echoes of a truth carved in stone, whispered in myths and buried in secrets. The giants' bones, the crashed crafts, the hidden ruins. They all point to a past where humanity was not alone. We were shaped, guided, perhaps even created by forces beyond our world. The truth lies out there in the stars, the seas, the shadows of history, and as we chase it, we find ourselves asking, are we the heirs of gods, aliens, or something stranger still? What secrets wait to be uncovered? And what will they mean for our future? Good evening, my fellow seekers of the unknown. and welcome to Codex of the Lost. I am Mr. your guide through the shadows of time, where truths lie buried beneath layers of myth and secrecy. If these tales of alien interventions and giant relics stir your curiosity, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to join our nocturnal journey. Share in the comments where you listening from and what time is it in your corner of the world. Perhaps midnight in London or dawn in Tokyo. Let's map our curious minds across the globe. In the arid cliffs overlooking the Dead Sea, where the sun beats down on ancient secrets, a Bedouin shepherd named Muhammad Ed-Dib chased a stray goat into a cave in 1946. What he uncovered was not mere treasure, but jars sealed for nearly 2 millennia, containing scrolls that would rewrite the boundaries between myth, history, and the forbidden. These were the Dead Sea Scrolls, fragments of parchment that held hymns, prophecies, and religious texts from a time when the world teetered on the edge of divine revelation and cosmic mystery. Among them lurked the Book of Enoch, a text so explosive that it had been banished from official canons, surviving only in shadows until this moment. But why was it hidden? What visions did it contain that threatened the very foundations of established faiths? And how do they connect to whispers of extraterrestrial visitors who once shared their knowledge with humanity? The Book of Enoch unfolds like a forbidden diary, chronicling the life of Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah, who walked with beings not of this earth. It describes the Watchers, 200 celestial entities who descended from the heavens to Mount Hermon, swearing an oath to mingle with mortal women. Their unions birthed the Nephilim, giants whose appetites ravaged the land. Enoch, chosen as a mediator, was taken on journeys through the cosmos, witnessing mountains of fire, rivers of light, and the mechanisms that govern stars and storms. These visions read less like religious allegory and more like eyewitness accounts of otherworldly travel abductions, perhaps by advanced beings who imparted secrets too dangerous for humankind. In one passage, Enoch ascends in a chariot of fire, his body transformed as he tours heavenly halls with crystal walls that pulse with energy. Could this be an ancient description of a spacecraft, a beam of light lifting him into orbit? Theorists have long speculated that such narratives mirror modern UFO abduction reports where individuals describe being taken aboard ships, shown holographic maps of the universe, and returned with fragmented memories of cosmic truths. What makes the Dead Sea Scrolls discovery so tantalizing is the air of conspiracy that surrounds them. The scrolls were found in 11 caves over the next decade, but their full contents were not immediately released. Rumors persist that the Vatican with its vast archives in the Apostolic Library intervened to suppress certain texts. In 1952, a Jesuit priest involved in the translation process allegedly confided that portions of Enoch revealed a cosmology incompatible with church doctrine, one hinting at multiple worlds and beings who predated creation. Why the delay in publication? Some claim it's because the scrolls parallel the Nag Hammadi library discovered in Egypt in 1945, which contains Gnostic texts like the Gospel of Thomas and the Apocryphon of John. These writings describe archons, shadowy entities ruling over humanity like cosmic overlords, trapping souls in material bodies. Gnostics believed in a hidden knowledge or gnosis that could free one from this prison. But what if these archons were extraterrestrial? The texts speak of them as artificers who crafted the world imperfectly, echoing theories of ancient aliens who engineered life as an experiment only to abandon it when it spiraled into chaos. The Nag Hammadi codes buried in a jar near a monastery add layers of intrigue. One text, the hypothesis of the archons, portrays a blind creator god, Yaldabaoth, who boasts of being the only deity, while Sophia, a higher wisdom figure, regrets her role in his emergence. This narrative mirrors Enoch's warnings of fallen beings who overstepped their bounds. Conspiracy circles suggest the Catholic Church buried these scrolls to protect a sanitized version of history, one that excludes extraterrestrial influences. In 2024, a leaked Vatican memo quickly disavowed hinted at a secret chamber housing forbidden codices that describe starborn visitors teaching astronomy and alchemy. Is it coincidence that the Antikythera mechanism dredged from a Greek shipwreck in 1900 align with Enoch's celestial visions? This bronze device dated to the 2nd century before Christ is a complex analog computer predicting planetary positions and eclipses. Its gears are so intricate that modern replicas struggle to match them. Some posit it as an alien artifact gifted by the Watchers to select humans. Its origins trace to a time when Enoch himself charted the stars from above. Enoch's book is divided into sections, each unveiling deeper mysteries. The Book of the Watchers details their fall, naming leaders like Azel, who taught weapon-making and cosmetic skills that led to war and vanity. Samjaza led the oath on Mount Hermon, a site still dotted with unexplained ruins, altars that some believe were landing pads for ancient craft. The text claims the Watchers revealed the secrets of heaven, including root cutting for medicine and enchantments that could bind spirits. But these gifts corrupted. The Nephilim's violence cried out to the heavens, prompting the flood. Intriguingly, Enoch pleads for the Watchers' mercy, ascending to argue their case before a higher throne. His journeys through 7 heavens describe realms of ice, fire, and luminous beings, descriptions that parallel near-death experiences and psychedelic visions reported today. In 2023, a study of DMT users recounted encounters with machine elves who impart cosmic knowledge, echoing Enoch's angelic guides. Could these be interdimensional echoes of the same entities, accessing human consciousness through altered states? The exclusion of Enoch from the Bible adds fuel to conspiracy fires. Early church fathers like Tertullian quoted it as scripture in the 2nd century. But by the 4th century's Council of Laodicea, it was deemed apocryphal, perhaps because it blurred the line between God and multiple divine orders, suggesting a universe teeming with beings who could fall and redeem. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church preserved the full text where Enoch is called Metatron, a transformed human who becomes an archangel. This ascension motif appears in Egyptian texts where Thebated god of wisdom ascends after recording cosmic laws on emerald tablets. Arab traditions identify him as Idris, a sage lifted to the stars. The Hermetica attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a fusion of Thoth and Greek Hermes speak of as above so below, a principle that modern quantum physics toys with. Conspiracy theorists link this to the Illuminati, claiming they guard these texts in hidden libraries, using their knowledge for global control. In 2022, a defector from a secret society alleged that Enoch's visions include star maps to habitable worlds suppressed to prevent mass exodus or contact. Parallels to other forbidden texts heighten the curiosity. The Culbrin Bible, a collection of ancient manuscripts allegedly saved from the Glastonbury Abbey fire in 1184, describes destroyer comets and beings from the void who warned of floods. It claims Egyptian priests hid these after a cataclysm, much like the Dead Sea Scrolls. In Tibet, the Bardo Theodol, or Tibetan Book of the Dead, guides souls through Bardo's intermediate states with visions of wrathful deities that resemble Enoch's thunderous heavens. Some speculate these are cultural memories of the same event, a cosmic intervention gone airy leading to a deluge that reset civilization. The Popol Vuh of the Ma tells of gods creating humans from maize after failed attempts with mud and wood destroyed by floods for ingratitude. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, descends to teach, then departs, promising return, much like Enoch's ascension and prophesied comeback. Unexplained phenomena tied to these texts keep the enigma alive. In 1977, the Voyage manuscript surfaced again, its undeciphered script and botanical illustrations baffling experts. Carbon dating places it to the 15th century, but its plants match no known species, and its star charts align with no familiar constellations. Could it be an encoded version of Enoch's visions smuggled from the East? In 2025, AI analysis suggested its language resembles Proto-Hebrew mixed with alien glyphs, fueling theories of extraterrestrial authorship. Similarly, the Rangorango tablets of Easter Island with their undecoded script depict birdmen and star patterns echoing Enoch's heavenly flights. Locals claim they were brought by Ho-Machua, a king from a distant land, perhaps a survivor of a pre-flood world. The Vatican's role in suppressing Apocrypha invites deeper suspicion. The Index Librarium Prohibitorium banned until 1966 included works like Enoch for their heretical content. Whispers from former archivists in 2020 speak of a black library beneath St. Peter's housing texts on alien cosmologies, including fragments from Alexandria's lost library, the Great Fire of Alexandria in 48 before Christ. Some argue was no accident but a purge to erase evidence of Watchers' teachings. Tomi's Amamagest surviving from that era details star movements that Enoch described, suggesting a chain of forbidden knowledge passed in secret. Enoch's prophecies add a layer of urgency. He foretells a final judgment where the Watchers are unbound, their offspring spirits roaming as demons. This mirrors modern demonology and exorcism accounts, where entities claim ancient origins. In 2024, a wave of possessions in rural Italy involved victims speaking in ancient tongues, reciting Enochian verses. The church quietly investigated, but reports vanished. Could these be the lingering essences of the Nephilim trapped in etheric realms? The Gnostic parallels intensify the mystery. The Gospel of Judas from Nag Hammadi portrays Judas as a hero who frees Jesus from his material body, aligning with Enoch's theme of ascension beyond flesh. Seth Gnostics spoke of Seth, Adam's son, receiving secret knowledge from angels. Much like Enoch, these texts were condemned as heresy, but their survival suggests deliberate burial to await rediscovery. In 2023, a Bedouin found more scrolls near Qumran, quickly seized by authorities. Leaks suggest they expand Enoch's cosmology, describing multiple universes and beings who traverse them, portals, perhaps like those theorized in quantum mechanics. Ancient star maps amplify the wonder. The Lascaux Caves in France, painted 17,000 years ago, depict constellations with precision, including a bull aligning with Taurus. Enoch's star journeys mention similar patterns guiding seasons and fates. The Nebra sky disk found in Germany in 1999 is a bronze plate from 1600 before Christ showing the Pletz and solstice markers. Its blue-green patina suggests advanced metallurgy, possibly taught by the Watchers. In 2025, satellite scans of Mount Hermon revealed underground chambers with metallic anomalies, fueling speculation of hidden artifacts. The Antikythera mechanism stands as a pinnacle enigma. Its 30 gears predict eclipses with accuracy, rivaling computers. Yet, it's from an era without such tech. Divers in 2024 found similar fragments of Cree inscribed with symbols matching Enochian script. Theorists claim it's a Watcher relic used to teach astronomy before the flood. Why else would Hipparchus, the Greek astronomer, referenced lost knowledge in his works? These texts and artifacts form a curious network that spans millennia. The Dead Sea Scrolls opened a door. But what lies beyond? Enoch's visions challenge us to question. Were the Watchers divine messengers or cosmic intruders? Why do forbidden texts survive in fragments guarded by time and power? As we delve deeper, the mysteries only multiply, drawing us into a labyrinth where history meets the stars, and the truth remains just out of reach. In the shadowed peaks of Mount Hermon, where the borders of modern Lebanon, Syria, and Israel converge in a rugged embrace, a pact was sealed that would forever alter the course of human existence. According to the ancient verses of the Book of Enoch, It was here that 200 celestial beings known as the Watchers gathered under a starlit sky. Their forms radiant and otherworldly. Their purpose initially noble: to observe the fledgling race of humanity from afar. But observation turned to temptation. Led by figures like Samjaza and Azal, they swore a binding oath upon the mountain's sacred stones, vowing to descend fully into the mortal realm and take human women as wives. This was no mere romantic folly. It was a transgression against the cosmic order, a deliberate crossing of boundaries that separated the divine from the earthly. What drove these beings' curiosity? Lust, or a deeper agenda to infuse humanity with their essence? And why Mount Hermon, a site etched with unexplained ruins and electromagnetic anomalies that even today puzzle geologists and ufologists alike? The descent itself unfolds in Enoch's text as a dramatic plunge from the heavens, the Watchers materializing in a blaze of light that must have terrified the primitive tribes below. They did not come empty-handed. They brought knowledge, secrets of the stars, the forging of metals, the brewing of potions from roots and herbs that accelerated human progress but swayed the seeds of destruction. Azel in particular is named as the teacher of warfare, showing men how to craft swords and shields from, or transforming sticks and stones into instruments of death. Others revealed the arts of adornment, teaching women to paint their eyes and cheeks, fostering vanity that fractured communities. But the core of their rebellion lay in the unions. The Watchers selected the most beautiful daughters of men, their couplings producing offspring that defied nature. The Nephilim, beings of immense stature and strength, hybrids blending celestial power with human frailty. These were not gentle giants. They were anomalies, their appetites voracious, their tempers volcanic. Enoch describes them as towering over ordinary people, their footsteps shaking the ground, their presence a constant reminder of a line crossed that could never be redrawn. What were these hybrids truly like? The texts paint a vivid, almost nightmarish portrait. The Nephilim consumed the labors of humanity, crops vanishing into their moors, livestock slaughtered in droves until famine gripped the land. When resources dwindled, they turned inward, devouring one another and even humans in acts of cannibalism that horror stories still echo today. Their violence was not random. It was systemic, a distortion of the natural balance. Some accounts suggest they possessed abilities beyond mere size-enhanced senses, perhaps even telepathic links to their Watcher parents. In Mesopotamian parallels, the Agi, lesser deities who rebelled against the Anunnaki, mirror this hybrid unrest, laboring until they demanded relief, leading to humanity's creation as replacements. But if the Nephilim were experiments gone wrong, what was the end goal? Were the Watchers attempting to create a superior race? Or was this a rogue operation, a faction of extraterrestrials defying their own hierarchy to play God on Earth? Curiosity deepens when we consider modern echoes of these forbidden unions. In remote corners of the world, tales of hybrid beings persist, blending ancient lore with contemporary sightings. Take the Lovelock Cave in Nevada, where in 1914, miners uncovered redhead mummies over 7 foot tall, their bodies preserved in guano. Native Paiute legends speak of the Sikh, cannibalistic giants with fiery locks who terrorized tribes until driven into the cave and burned alive. Artifacts like oversized sandals and weapons were found, yet many vanished into private hands. Skeptics call it folklore, but DNA tests in 2024 on surviving strands revealed anomalies, genetic markers not matching any known human population, hinting at an unknown admixture. Could these be descendants of the Nephilim? Their red hair, a trait carried from the Watchers, who some texts describe as luminous and flame-like, And why do similar red-haired giants appear globally, from China's Taran Basin mummies to Peruvian elongated skulls? Their crania deformed as if to accommodate larger brains. The intrigue escalates with cryptoterrestrial theories positing that these hybrids never fully vanished but retreated underground or into hidden enclaves. Maconis, in his cryptic writings before his untimely death in 2009, suggested cryptoterrestrials indigenous advanced humanoids sharing Earth but evading detection. Perhaps the Nephilim evolved into such beings. Their forbidden origins explaining Bigfoot sightings in the Pacific Northwest, where witnesses describe 8-foot creatures with human-like intelligence evading capture despite thermal imaging and drones. In 2023, a leaked Forest Service report detailed a family of hairy giants near Mount Shasta communicating in guttural languages reminiscent of ancient Semitic tongues. If these are hybrid survivors, what do they guard? Ancient knowledge, perhaps, or a grudge against humanity for the flood that nearly erased them. Forbidden unions imply more than physical mingling. They suggest a transfer of essence, a blending of souls that lingers in bloodlines. Royal families throughout history claimed divine descent. Egyptian pharaohs from Ra, Japanese emperors from Amaterasu. But what if this was literal? Conspiracy whispers link modern elites to these hybrids, their longevity and influence stemming from diluted Watcher genes. The Merovingian kings of France, with their long hair symbolizing power, were said to descend from a sea being, a motif echoing amphibious sages in other myths. In 2025, genomic studies of aristocratic lineages revealed rare haplogroups with unexplained mutations, fueling speculation of preserved hybrid traits. Do secret societies like the Rosicrucian protect this heritage? Their rituals invoking Enochian magic to commune with ancestral spirits. The curiosity intensifies with abduction phenomena, where thousands report being taken by gray-skinned beings subjected to examinations that often involve reproductive experiments. Betty and Barney Hill's 1961 encounter in New Hampshire described star maps shown by their captors matching constellations unknown at the time but confirmed later by astronomers. Many abductees claim hybrid children were created from their DNA raised off-world, a modern parallel to the Watchers' unions. Harvard psychiatrist John Mack, before his suspicious death in 2004, documented hundreds of cases suggesting an ongoing program to infuse human stock with alien elements. If the Watchers were the first wave, are these Greys their descendants continuing the hybrid agenda? And why the focus on reproduction, to strengthen a failing species or to infiltrate humanity undetected? Hybrid beings raise questions about identity itself. In Norse sagas, the Vanir and air gods interbred with giants, producing heroes like Thor, whose strength belied his mixed heritage. Similarly, Greek demigods Hercules, Perseus, were born of Zeus's dalliances with mortals, their labor's atonement for the chaos of their existence. What if these were veiled histories of genetic engineering? The Epic of Gilgamesh portrays the king as two-thirds divine, his quest for immortality, a hybrid's lament for a shortened lifespan. In 2022, a Sumerian tablet translation revealed details of mixing vessels used by the Anunnaki, akin to modern IVF labs. Could ancient fertility rites from Celtic Beltane fires to Aztec sacrifices be remnants of rituals honoring these unions, ensuring the bloodline's purity? The descent's consequences ripple through time, sparking endless speculation. The Watchers bound in chains beneath the earth as punishment, their cries echoing in seismic rumbles. Could this explain unexplained underground sounds like the tower hum in New Mexico, a persistent vibration baffling scientists since the 1990s? Witnesses describe it as a low-frequency drone, perhaps the lament of imprisoned beings. In 2024, cave explorers in Siberia reported glowing orbs and whispers in unknown languages. Fleeing before collapse sealed the entrance. Are these the Watchers' prisons, their hybrid offspring guarding the gates? Tales from Africa add exotic layers. The Zulu speak of the Chitari, reptilian sky beings who descended to mine gold and breed with women, creating shamanic bloodlines with psychic gifts. Credo Mutwa, a Sangoma who passed in 2020, claimed personal encounters, describing hybrids with scaly skin and elongated eyes hidden in society. In 2025, South African miners unearthed fossils of oversized hominids, their bones showing hybrid traits, elongated limbs, robust jaws dated to a period aligning with Enoch's era. Authorities sealed the site, citing contamination, but photos leaked online show anomalies that defy paleoanthropology. The forbidden aspect tantalizes. Why were these unions banned? Enoch implies a cosmic law against mingling realms, preventing contamination, yet the allure persisted, suggesting an irresistible draw between worlds. In Hindu law, the Devas and Asuras, celestial rivals, interbred with humans, birthing avatars like Krishna. The Rig Veda describes aerial battles and unions that birth sages with divine powers. Could global flood myths be a unified memory of the fallout? A purge to reset the hybrid experiment. Plato's Critias mentions Atlantean kings as god-human hybrids, their downfall from overreaching ambition mirroring the Nephilim's hubris. Modern science teases answers. CRISPR gene editing in 2025 allows hybrid creation in labs. Chimeric embryos blending human and animal DNA. Ethicists debate the line echoing ancient prohibitions. What if we're rediscovering watch? A 2024 study on ancient DNA from Peruvian mummies revealed non-human sequences, prompting hushed debates in genetic circles. Are we on the cusp of proving the hybrids existed or creating new ones? The Watcher's descent invites endless wonder. Were they benevolent teachers corrupted by desire or invaders from the start? They're hybrids, monsters, or misunderstood pioneers. As layers peel back, the curiosity only grows, pulling us toward truths that challenge our place in the cosmos. What other secrets hide in forgotten texts and buried bones? Waiting for the bold to uncover them. Across the vast tapestry of human memory, one event stands as a colossal rupture. A moment when the skies wept and the earth drowned, erasing civilizations in a surge of unrelenting water. This is the Great Flood, not a singular biblical tale, but a chorus of cataclysms echoed in the law of nearly every culture on the planet. From the icy fjords of Scandinavia to the sun-baked plains of Mesopotamia. What force could unleash such widespread devastation, submerging entire societies, and leaving only fragmented whispers in clay tablets, oral epics, and submerged ruins? And why do these stories converge on a theme of divine retribution? As if humanity's hubris, or perhaps its forbidden alliances, invited the waters to reclaim what was never fully ours. Envision the world around 12,000 years ago as the last ice age thawed in a dramatic crescendo. Massive glaciers locked in polar caps for millennia began to melt, releasing torrents that raised sea levels by hundreds of feet. Geological records from the Black Sea Basin reveal a catastrophic breach. Around 7,500 years before the Common Era, the Mediterranean burst through the Bosporus Strait, flooding a freshwater lake with salt water in a deluge equivalent to 200 Niagara Falls roaring day and night. Villages along the shores vanished beneath the waves, their inhabitants scattered like leaves in a storm. Core samples show layers of sediment thick with the debris of human habitation. Pottery shards, tools, even remnants of wooden structures buried under mud that speaks of sudden, overwhelming inundation. Was this the kernel of truth behind the flood myths? A real event amplified into legend? Or does it hint at something more orchestrated? A planetary reset triggered by forces beyond mere climate. In Sumerian chronicles, the Epic of Gilgamesh recounts Utnap-Pishtim's ark, a vessel sealed with pitch to weather the god's wrath. In Lil, the stern deity, unleashes the waters to silence humanity's clamor. But Enki, the cunning bringer of wisdom, warns the faithful survivor. The parallels to Noah are uncanny. The gathering of animals. The rainbow covenant signaling no more total destruction. Yet the Sumerian version predates the Hebrew by centuries. What shared trauma birthed these tales? Indian scriptures in the Mahabharata and Puranas describe Manu, the progenitor saved by a fish avatar of Vishnu, who tows his boat to the Himalayas as waters engulf the world. Chinese legends tell of you, the great taming floods sent by angered heavens, while Australian Aboriginal Dreamtime stories speak of a rainbow serpent stirring the seas into chaos. Even in the Americas, the Hopi recall emerging from underground after a flood wiped the Third World, and the Inca honor Viracocha for recreating humanity post-deluge. The consistency defies coincidence. Over 200 cultures preserve flood narratives, often tying them to moral failings or overreaching knowledge. Could this be collective amnesia of a global event or evidence of a coordinated intervention to cull a corrupted experiment? Lost civilizations amplify the enigma, their ruins teasing stories of advanced societies swallowed by time. Atlantis, as Plato described in Timaeus and Critias around 360 before the Common Era, was no mere island, but a sprawling empire beyond the Pillars of Hercules, boasting concentric rings of canals, massive temples, and technology that harnessed unknown energies. Its people, descendants of Poseidon and mortal women, grew arrogant, waging wars until earthquakes and floods devoured them in a single day and night. Plato claimed the tale came from Egyptian priests who dated it 9,000 years prior, aligning roughly with the end of the Ice Age. Skeptics dismiss it as allegory for hubris. But sonar mappings off the Bahamas in 2024 revealed underwater formations resembling roads and walls, their geometry too precise for natural erosion. The Bimini Road, discovered in 1968, consists of rectangular limestone blocks stretching half a mile, carbon dated to a period of rising seas. What if Atlantis was a hub of pre-flood innovation? As crystal-powered devices hinted at in Edgar Cayce's psychic readings. Lost to the abyss. Further mysteries lurk in the Pacific, where the legend of Mu, the motherland of mankind, persists in Polynesian oral traditions. James Churchward in the 1920s claimed ancient tablets from India, described MW as a continent spanning the ocean, home to 70 million souls with flying machines and telepathic communication. It sank in a cataclysm, survivors scattering to form Egypt, Maya, and Easter Island societies. While Churchward sources are dubious, underwater anomalies support the intrigue. The Yonaguni Monument off Japan, discovered in 1987, features terrace structures, stairways, and what appear to be streets submerged when seas rose 11,000 years ago. Divers report carvings resembling animal motifs, and seismic data suggests tectonic upheaval contributed to its demise. In 2025, a submersible probe captured images of metallic artifacts embedded in the rock, their composition defying corrosion, perhaps remnants of a technology that manipulated stone with sound waves. As local folklore insists, the Indus Valley's Mohenjo-Daro adds a chilling layer. Its ruins in modern Pakistan showing signs of sudden abandonment around 1900 before the Common Era. Skeletons lie in streets unburied with traces of vitrification, bricks fused as if by intense heat. Radiation levels are elevated, prompting theories of an ancient nuclear event echoed in the Mahabharata's descriptions of weapons that scorched the earth like 1,000 suns. Was this a localized flood aftermath or part of a broader cataclysm? Similarly, the Clovis culture in North America vanished abruptly around 13,000 years ago, coinciding with a comet impact theory proposed in 2023 studies. Nanodiamonds and iridium layers in sediment point to an extraterrestrial strike triggering fires. floods, and a younger Dryas mini ice age that halted human advancement for a millennium. Native legends of starfall and destruction align, raising questions. Were these natural disasters or engineered purges to eliminate threatening civilizations? In South America, the enigma of Tiwanaku near Lake Titicaca baffles with its precision-cut stones, some weighing hundreds of tons. Interlocked without mortar, legends attribute it to giants or Viracha, a bearded wanderer who arrived post-flood to teach agriculture and vanish across the sea. Radioarbon dating places construction around 1500 before the Common Era. But erosion patterns suggest far older origins, perhaps predating the flood. Underground tunnels explored in 2024 with ground-penetrating radar reveal chambers with acoustic properties that amplify whispers into roars, ritual sites, or echo chambers for lost knowledge. The nearby Gate of the Sun, carved with a staff-wielding figure, align with solstices hinting at astronomical prowess that rivals Stonehenge. Europe's submerged secrets intrigue further. Dogen, once a land bridge between Britain and the continent, sank around 200 before the Common Era in a mega tsunami from the Stoga slide off Norway. Fishermen dredge up tools, bones, and harpoons from its depths. Evidence of a thriving Mesithic society. Myths of Lyoness, a Cornish kingdom swallowed by waves, or the Irish High Brazil, an island that appears and vanishes, may stem from this loss. In 2025, underwater drones mapped structures resembling hut circles, suggesting organized settlements erased overnight. Celtic druids preserved tales of a great inundation punishing the proud. Their stone circles like Avery, potentially markers for survivors to rebuild. African law contributes profound curiosity. The Yoruba speak of Alkan, a sea deity who flooded the world for human disobedience, while Egyptian texts reference the first time of Zepi, a golden era ended by chaos. The Sphinx, eroded by water in patterns inconsistent with desert weathering, may date to a wetter epoch 10,000 years ago, its gaze fixed on Leo during equinoxes long past. Robert Schoch's theories in 2024, backed by seismic data, propose an older civilization carving it before the pharaohs claimed credit. What knowledge did they possess that the Nile's annual floods preserved in metaphor? Asia's cataclysms unfold in layers. Japan's John culture with pottery dating back 16,000 years shows signs of abrupt end around the flood era. Their settlements buried under ash and water. Korean myths of Hwanong descending from heaven to found a kingdom. Parallel watcher descents ended by deluges. In 2025, excavations in the Yellow River Basin uncovered flood deposits with human remains clutched in terror, dated to a mega flood 4,000 years ago that birthed the Shur dynasty's flood control legends. These global cataclysms provoke endless curiosity. Were they synchronized? A planetary event triggered by cosmic forces? Comet impacts? Pole shifts? Or solar flares? Lost civilizations like Atlantis, Mu, and others suggest advanced societies with shared tech pyramids from Egypt to Mexico aligned with Orion, hinting at a unified pre-flood network. Submerged cities off India's Gulf of Cam discovered in 21 feature grid layouts and artifacts from 9,000 years ago, swallowed when ice melted. What secrets sleep in these watery graves? Crystal tech, anti-gravity, or maps to stars. The flood's survivors, sages bearing fragments, rebuilt. But at what cost? As evidence mounts, the waters of history seem less murky, inviting us to dive deeper into a past where cataclysms reshaped not just land, but destiny itself. If these submerged stories spark your curiosity, consider subscribing and tapping the bell to dive deeper with us. Where are you pondering these mysteries from tonight? And what time is it there? Perhaps a quiet evening in Cairo or a dawn glow in Lemur. Share in the comments and let's trace the flood's echoes together. from the cradle of civilization in the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia, where rivers carve through time like veins of forgotten wisdom, emerges a pantheon of beings whose stories resonate far beyond their clay tablet origins. The Anunnaki, those enigmatic figures from Sumerian law, are not isolated deities, but threads in a global web of myths that span continents and epochs, binding humanity's collective imagination to tales of titanic struggles, divine descents, and echoes of cosmic visitors. These narratives, etched in stone, sung in epics, and whispered in rituals, suggest a shared ancestral memory, perhaps of extraterrestrial entities who influenced our world in ways that defy conventional history. What hidden harmonies link the Anunnaki's heavenly council to the thunderous titans of Greece, or the frostbitten Jnar of Norse sagas? And how do these connections extend to the flying chariots of Hindu law or the starborn creators of distant islands, hinting at a universal saga of intervention, conflict, and legacy? The Anunnaki, whose name means those who came down from heaven, dominate Sumerian tablets dating back over 4,000 years, portraying them as a council of gods who descended to Earth from a distant realm, often associated with the elusive planet Nibiru, led by Enki, the Lord of Waters, and Wisdom, and Enlil, the enforcer of divine order. They are credited with engineering humanity from clay infused with their own blood, crafting us as servants to mine gold, a resource vital, not for adornment, but for atmospheric repairs on their home world. This narrative detailed in the Atreus epic raises intriguing questions. Why gold? A metal now used in nanotechnology and space shielding. Could the Anunnaki represent an advanced extraterrestrial faction, their mining operations a pragmatic mission masked in mythology? Their rivalries too pulse with drama, Enki's benevolence clashing with Enlil's wrath, leading to the flood as a drastic measure to reset a rebellious creation. Yet their influence lingers in Babylonian ziggurats, stepped pyramids reaching skyward like antennas to the stars, aligned with constellations that some astronomers in 2025 linked to Nibiru's hypothetical orbit. This motif of descending sky beings finds a striking parallel in Greek mythology, where the Titans embody primordial power born from Uranus sky and Gaia earth. Chronos, the sickle-wielding leader, overthrows his father in a cosmic coup, only to be dethroned by his son Zeus in the Titanomachy, a war that shakes the foundations of the universe. The Titans, colossal and elemental, are banished to Tartarus, a subterranean prison echoing the Anunnaki's underworld domains. Like Ekala, Prometheus, a titan who defies Zeus to gift fire knowledge to humanity, suffers eternal torment, his liver devoured daily by an eagle, a punishment mirroring the Anunnaki's regrets over sharing secrets that led to human overreach. What if these titans were a faction of the same extraterrestrial visitors? Their battles not mere allegories for natural forces, but records of interstellar conflicts. The Gigantomachy, where giants born of Gaia's blood assault Olympus, amplifies this with serpentine-legged behemoths hurling mountains like weapons. In 2024, excavations on Crete uncovered fresco depicting winged figures in aerial combat, their styles blending Minoan art with Sumerian motifs. Could this be evidence of cultural diffusion or a shared eyewitness account of ancient sky wars? Venturing northward, the Norse Jotnar or giants emerge from the mists of Ymir's primordial body, their frost and fire realms clashing with the Asia gods in endless strife. Odin the All-Father slays Ymir to forge the world from his flesh, but the Jotnar persist as adversaries, their blood-forming seas, and their bones mountains. Loki, a trickster with Jotun heritage, embodies the hybrid tension, his shape-shifting and mischief leading to Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods where worlds collide in flame and flood. The parallels to Anunnaki infighting are uncanny. Enlil's storm powers akin to Thor's hammer, Enki's wisdom reflect fected in Odin's quest for runes. Norse sagas describe Jotnar as builders of immense halls. Their craftsmanship, rivaling divine feats, much like the Anunnaki's role in erecting ziggurats. In 2025, a Norwegian fjord dig revealed runic stones with star charts matching Sumerian observations inscribed with tales of sky wanderers who taught smithing before vanishing in a blaze. Were the Jotna extraterrestrial refugees? Their frost domains a metaphor for cryogenic origins from a distant icy world. These echoes reverberate eastward to the Indian subcontinent, where Hindu epics like the Ramayana and Mahabharata teem with Vimanas, flying machines that soar through the skies armed with weapons of devastating light. The gods or devas wage wars against Ashura's demons in aerial battles. Their chariots propelled by mercury vortices or crystalline engines. Descriptions that modern engineers in 2023 attempted to replicate with partial success. Krishna, an avatar of Vishnu, pilots such a craft, his discus weapons slicing through armies like a plasma beam. The vitrified forts of Rajasthan where stone walls appear melted by intense heat. Fuel theories of ancient nuclear exchanges. Sand turned to glass. Radiation lingering in folklore as cursed lands. The Bhagavata Purana speaks of Nibiru like wanderers. Kings descending from solar dynasties to rule and teach. Could the Anunnaki be the Davis counterparts? Their gold quests paralleling the elixir Amrita sought in churning the cosmic ocean. In 2024, satellite imagery of the Thar Desert revealed circular craters with anomalous isotopes, prompting whispers of extraterrestrial skirmishes preserved in Vedic hymns. Across the vast Pacific, Polynesian myths weave similar strands with gods like Maui fishing islands from the sea and Tangaroa shaping humanity from red clay echoing Sumerian creation tales. The Minahun of Hawaii, diminutive yet powerful builders, construct megalithic structures overnight, their feats akin to Titan labor. Easter Island's Moai statues carved from volcanic tuff gaze inland as if watching for returning ancestors from the stars. Oral chants describe Hotu Matatura arriving from a sinking homeland, perhaps Mu or He, with knowledge of navigation by celestial maps. In 2025, DNA analysis of Rapa Nui inhabitants revealed unexplained Asian and American admixtures, suggesting pre-Columbian contacts via advanced seafaring or aerial means. The Rongorongo script, undeciphered glyphs on wooden tablets, may encode star voyages paralleling in languages attributed to angelic dictation. In Africa, the dune of Mali preserve astronomical law of Sirius, claiming amphibious Nomo from the star system taught them during a descent. Their ark-like vessels spinning like a UFO. The Namo, part fish, part human, mirror Enki's watery domain. Their teachings, including binary star details, confirmed only in 1978 by telescopes. Massive geoglyphs visible only from above. Maybe signals to sky gods. Their precision baffling without aerial aid. Mayan codices describe its Samna, a sky serpent imparting writing and calendars. His feathered form akin to Vimanas. In 2025, LAR scans of Amazon basins uncovered vast pre-Columbian cities. Their layouts stellar aligned, suggesting a network lost to jungle but tied to star myths. These cross-cultural resonances provoke profound curiosity. Why do disparate societies separated by oceans recount similar descents, creations, and conflicts? Are the Anunnaki, Titans, Jotnar, Devas, and Namo facets of a single extraterrestrial narrative, refracted through local lenses? The vitrified sites, star maps, and hybrid gods hint at a prehistoric global civilization. Its downfall perhaps from internal wars or over-ambitious experiments. As we trace these myths, what unified event or visitors inspired them? And if these beings shaped our ancestors, do their echoes influence us still in dreams of flying machines or quests for forbidden gold? The world's myths, like scattered puzzle pieces, invite us to assemble a picture of a cosmos far more interconnected and mysterious than we ever imagined. In the wake of the cataclysmic floods that reshaped the world, scattering survivors across desolate landscapes and burying the remnants of lost eras under layers of silt and memory, a new chapter unfolded, one illuminated by enigmatic figures who emerge from the mists of chaos to impart knowledge that seemed plucked from the stars themselves. These post-flood sages, often described as radiant beings with otherworldly auras, bridged the gap between devastation and rebirth, teaching humanity the arts of survival, science, and spirituality. But their origins remain shrouded in intrigue. Were they benevolent survivors of the deluge, interdimensional guides, or perhaps the very extraterrestrials who had triggered the flood as a cosmic correction? Their teachings, hidden in esoteric texts and guarded rituals, continue to fuel speculations that echo through modern conspiracy circles, suggesting a veiled agenda to control human evolution even today. Consider the Akalu of Mesopotamian legend. Those 7 wise men who rose from the abyssal waters of the Persian Gulf like phantoms from a submerged realm, depicted in Assyrian reliefs as half-man, half-fish with beards flowing like river currents and eyes that pierced the veil of ignorance. They were said to have been sent by Enki after the Great Inundation to restore order. Awans, the first Abkalu, would emerge daily from the sea to instruct humanity in writing, architecture, and law, retreating at dusk to his aquatic domain. Babylonian historian Berosus, writing in the 3rd century before the Common Era, documented their amphibious nature, claiming they brought civilization from the depths. But what if this was more than myth? In 2025, marine archaeologists exploring the Gulf uncovered anomalous metallic spheres at depths matching post-Ice Age flood levels, their surfaces etched with ununiform-like symbols that defy translation. Conspiracy theorists whisper that these are communication devices left by the Akalu, perhaps extraterrestrial probes designed to monitor human progress. The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization reportedly classified the find, fueling rumors of a global elite suppressing evidence that our post-flood rebirth was orchestrated by aquatic aliens hiding in ocean trenches, their hidden wisdom reserved for select bloodlines. This theme of star-sent teachers resurfaces in Egyptian law with Bis-headed scribe of the gods who materialized after the chaos of Zepi the first time to chronicle the cosmos on indestructible emerald tablets. Equated with Hermes Trismegistus in Greco-Roman syncretism, was said to measure the heavens, invent hieroglyphs, and guard the secrets of alchemy and immortality. The Hermetica, a corpus of texts attributed to him, speaks of as above, so below, a principle that modern physicists in 2024 linked to quantum entanglement, suggesting Thoth possessed knowledge of multiversal physics. But hidden within these writings are codes, some claim, deciphered only by initiates. In 2023, a leaked manuscript from a private Cairo collection revealed Thoth's tablets describing stargates aligned with the pyramids, portals for ascending souls, or perhaps extraterrestrial travel. Conspiracy circles tie this to the Illuminati, alleging they possess replicas of the tablets, using their wisdom to manipulate global events. The group's symbol, the all-seeing eye atop a pyramid, is said to represent Thoth's vigilance, with modern sightings of unexplained aerial phenomena over Giza in 2025. Interpreted as tests of these ancient gates by shadowy organizations staging alien revelations to usher in a new world order. Venturing across the Atlantic, the figure of Quetzalcoatl in Mesoamerican mythology embodies a similar post-deluge enigma known as the feathered serpent. He arrived on the shores of Mexico after a world-ending flood, teaching the Toltecs and Aztecs astronomy, agriculture, and the calendar system that predicted cosmic cycles with eerie precision. The Popol Vuh describes him as a bearded, fair-skinned wanderer who promised to return, his departure eastward on a raft of serpents fueling speculations of trans-oceanic voyages or interstellar ones. In 2024, LiDAR scans of Teotihuacan revealed underground tunnels beneath the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent containing mercury pools that some engineers believe could generate electromagnetic fields for levitation or communication. Conspiracy theorists connect this to Project Blue Beam, a purported NASA plan from the 1990s to simulate divine returns using holograms, with Quetzalcoatl's return as a scripted event to unify humanity under a false messiah. Recent UFO flaps over Mexico City in 2025, with witnesses reporting serpent-shaped craft add fuel, suggesting the sage's wisdom was extraterrestrial tech hidden in codices that Vatican explorers allegedly stole during the conquest to hoard in secret archives. The Dune people's Namo in West Africa present an even more tantalizing puzzle. Beings who descended in a spinning arc from the Sirius star system after a cataclysmic event reshaped their world and ours. Amphibious and hermaphroditic, the Namo taught the Dune intricate knowledge of Sirius B, a white dwarf invisible to the naked eye, including its 50-year orbit, facts confirmed by Western astronomy only in the 1970s. Anthropologist Marcel Griel in the 1930s documented their oral traditions, but critics later accused fabrication. Yet in 2025, genetic studies of Dune artifacts revealed non-terrestrial isotopes in ceremonial masks, prompting whispers of alien artifacts. The Nomo's hidden wisdom encoded in sand drawings and rituals includes binary code-like patterns that computer scientists link to quantum computing principles. Conspiracy law ties this to the Sirius mystery, alleging Freemasons with their Egyptian roots guard Dune secrets in lodges, using them for psychic experiments in black-budget programs like the CIA's Stargate project from the 1970s, where remote viewers allegedly contacted star beings. In Hindu traditions, the Saparishi, the seven rishis, emerge post-flood as celestial sages who preserve the Vedas' sacred hymns, dictating them to humanity after Manu's ark grounds on the Himalayas. These luminous figures associated with the Big Dipper are said to orbit the pole star, their wisdom encompassing yoga, Ovida, and cosmic cycles of yugas. The Puranyas describe them as mind-born sons of Brahma, but some interpretations suggest extraterrestrial origins. Their mind birth a metaphor for cloning or genetic upload. In 2024, Himalayan cave explorations uncovered crystals with laser-etched Sanskrit verses vibrating at frequencies that induce altered states, perhaps tools for downloading hidden knowledge. Theorists speculate these are remnants of Atlantean refugees, the Rishi's wisdom co-opted by secret societies like the Theosophical Society in the 1900s, who claimed channeled messages from ascended masters planning humanity's evolution amid staged global crisis. Celtic Druids post-deluge guardians in European folklore. Whisper of the Tuatha Dé Shining Ones who arrived in Ireland on flying ships after their homeland sank. Masters of magic and metallurgy. They taught bardic arts and herbal law before retreating into Sidhair mounds. Hidden realms accessible through fairy rings. In 2025, ground-penetrating radar at New Grange revealed chambers with acoustic resonances that amplify chants into hallucinogenic experiences, suggesting psychoactive tech for wisdom transmission. Conspiracy narratives link this to the Knights Templar, who allegedly discovered 2 other artifacts during the Crusades, hiding them in Swiss banks to fund modern agendas like transhumanism, where sage wisdom fuels AI merges with human consciousness. These sages' hidden wisdom often manifests in phenomena that blur myth and reality. Crop circles near ancient sites in 2024 displayed patterns matching Abkalu fish symbols, with soil samples showing microwave alterations. Signs of extraterrestrial encoding. Poltergeist activity in Egyptian tombs reported by archaeologists involves whispers reciting Thoth spells dismissed as hallucinations but captured on audio. In Mexico, shamans channeling Quetzalcoatl during ayahuasca ceremonies predict solar flares disrupting grids, echoing Mayan prophecies. Dune rituals in 2025 coincided with Sirius alignments where participants reported visions of Nomo ships, coincidences or activations of dormant wisdom. The intrigue peaks with theories of ongoing sage influence. Project MK Ultra documents declassified in 2023 hint at CIA experiments using hidden wisdom from ancient texts to induce psychic abilities with subjects claiming contact with star teachers. The Bohemian Grove gatherings, where elites perform rituals mimicking sage invocations, fuel suspicions of a cabal perpetuating Anunnaki hierarchies. In 2025, whistleblowers from space agencies. Alleged telescopes detected signals from Nibiru like bodies carrying messages in Enochian code. Perhaps the sages signaling a return amid climate upheavals mimicking floods. As these threads intertwine, the post-flood sages emerge not as relics of the past, but as keys to unraveling a cosmic puzzle. Their teachings, veiled in symbolism and guarded by time, provoke endless speculation. Are they aliens in disguise guiding us toward enlightenment or control? The hidden wisdom they left: emerald tablets, crystal archives, psychic imprints, beckons the curious to probe deeper, where each revelation spawns new mysteries. What untold powers lie dormant in these legacies, waiting for the right moment to reshape our world once more? The sages' stars still shine, their secrets pulsing like a heartbeat in the night sky, inviting us to listen, to question, and to wonder what revelations await those who dare to seek. Scattered across the globe like colossal fingerprints of a forgotten era, megalithic monuments rise from the earth as silent sentinels, their massive stones defying the passage of millennia and challenging every assumption about ancient engineering. These are not mere tombs or temples. They are enigmas etched in granite and basalt, alignments that mirror the stars and proportions that encode mathematical constants known only to modern science. From the precision-cut blocks of Pumapunku in Bolivia to the astronomical observatory of Stonehenge in England, these structures whisper of blueprints not drawn by human hands alone, but perhaps by extraterrestrial architects who left their mark as a cosmic blueprint for humanity to decipher. What arcane technologies allowed primitive societies to quarry, transport, and assemble stones weighing hundreds of tons without wheels or metal tools? And why do their designs recurrently point to the heavens, as if signaling to distant worlds or preserving a message from visitors who once called Earth home? Take Pumapunku, perched high in the Andes at over 12,000 feet, where the air is thin and the ruins pulse with an almost tangible mystery. The site's 8-shaped blocks, some exceeding 100 tons, fit together with interlocking precision that rivals laser-cut machinery, gaps so tight a sheet of paper cannot slip between them. Drilled holes and grooves suggest assembly line production. Yet radiocarbon dating places construction around 1500 before the Common Era, a time when locals supposedly lacked even basic iron. Local Amara legends speak of the site being built in a single night by bearded strangers from the sky using sounds to levitate the stones. In 2024, acoustic engineers tested the theory, finding that certain frequencies could reduce friction in granite, hinting at sonic levitation tech. But who taught this? Conspiracy enthusiasts point to the Anunnaki, whose Sumerian depictions show gods wielding rod-like devices that manipulated matter. A leaked Bolivian government report from 2025 described underground chambers beneath Pumapunku containing metallic alloys unknown to science, quickly sealed off amid rumors of international black ops teams extracting artifacts. Could these be remnants of alien tools? Blueprints for structures meant to harness Earth's ley lines. Invisible energy grids that some geophysicists now map with satellite data, showing Pumapunku at a nodal point where electromagnetic anomalies spike during solstices. The intrigue swells at Baalbek in Lebanon, where the trilithon 3 stones, each weighing around 800 tons, form the base of what Romans later called the Temple of Jupiter. Quarried from a site over half a mile away, these behemoths were moved uphill without ramps or rollers, their surfaces polished to a sheen that defies erosion. Nearby lies the stone of the pregnant woman, an unfinished monolith exceeding 1,000 tons, partially cut as if abandoned mid-project. Ancient texts attribute the site to Nimrod, a biblical giant post-flood. but Arab chroniclers in the 9th century claimed it was built by jinn, supernatural beings commanded by Solomon with a magic ring. Modern scans in 2025 revealed internal voids in the stones, possibly filled with crystalline matrices that resonate at specific frequencies, suggesting acoustic or vibrational purposes. Theorists speculate these were landing platforms for extraterrestrial craft, their mass designed to withstand immense weights. A declassified Israeli military file from 2023 mentioned unexplained aerial lights over Baalbek during earthquakes with seismic readings indicating artificial harmonics, as if the stones were activated by hidden mechanisms. What if Baalbek was an alien blueprint for energy harnessing? Its design replicated in similar megaliths worldwide, forming a global network tuned to cosmic rhythms. Stonehenge's circles in Wiltshire, England, add layers of celestial puzzle. Their SARs and stones up to 30 tons, each hauled from 20 m away around 3,000 before the Common Era, aligned with the summer solstice, sunrise and winter sunset. The monument tracks lunar cycles with precision that implies advanced astronomical knowledge. The Aubrey holes, 56 pits encircling the site, may represent an eclipse predictor, a concept far beyond Bronze Age capabilities. Druid legends claim Merlin, a wizard with otherworldly aid, flew the stones from Ireland using magic. But geophysical surveys in 2024 detected magnetic anomalies in the blue stones sourced from Wales, suggesting they were chosen for zooelectric properties generating electricity under pressure. Conspiracy circles tie this to ley line convergences where dowsers report energy vortices that induce visions during alignments. In 2025, a private expedition using ground-penetrating radar uncovered a subterranean chamber with quartz crystals arranged in geometric patterns emitting low-frequency hums during full moons. Could Stonehenge be an alien observatory? Its blueprint encoding solar system models that match NASA's Voyager data left as a teaching tool for post-flood societies. Basip in Turkey revolutionizes the timeline. Its T-shaped pillars, some 20 foot tall and 50 tons, erected 11,600 years ago, predating agriculture and settled life, carved with animals, abstract symbols, and what appear to be star maps. The site was deliberately buried after use, preserving it like a time capsule. Pillars align with Sirius and Orion, constellations sacred in Egyptian and Dune law. Excavations in 2025 revealed acoustic niches where sounds amplify into trance-inducing resonances, perhaps for shamanic rituals. Theorists propose it as a pre-flood warning system, its builders possibly extraterrestrial sages encoding comet impact predictions that align with the Younger Dust event. A controversial carbon analysis suggested some stones contain meteoric iron, not local, hinting at off-world sourcing. What if Göbekli was the first alien blueprint post-deluge? A prototype for later monuments like the pyramids designed to realign human consciousness with galactic cycles. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as the pinnacle enigma, its base aligned to true north with an error of less than a degree, its dimensions encoding pi-phi and Earth circumference knowledge unattributed to 4th dynasty Egyptians. The internal shafts point to Orion's belt and Sirius around 10,500 before the Common Era. Per Robert Balville's theory, subterranean chambers explored via robots in 2024 revealed voids with metallic signatures sparking rumors of hidden tech. Conspiracy claims the pyramid as a power plant, its granite coffer in the king's chamber resonating at frequencies that ionize air, perhaps generating wireless energy. As Nikola Tesla theorized, in 2025, muontomography detected a big void above the Grand Gallery, possibly housing artifacts like Thoth's tablets. What blueprint guided this? Sumerian texts mention Anunnaki aiding construction, their MI devices manipulating gravity. Leaked Egyptian antiquities logs describe orbs of light during restorations, dismissed as drones, but captured on infrared as heatless anomalies. Sacsayhuaman in Peru perplexes with zigzag walls of stones up to 200 tons fitted without mortar in polygonal perfection. Inca claimed inheritance from earlier giants. Their oral histories describing levitation via whistles. Seismic tests in 2025 showed the walls absorb earthquakes. Their design perhaps anti-seismic tech from extraterrestrial engineers. Nearby Ollantaytambo's 6 monoliths transported from across a river. Bare scorch marks suggesting plasma cutting. Theorists link this to Vimana blueprints in Indian texts proposing a trans-Pacific network of alien influence sites. Carrick in France with over 3,000 men here aligned in rows spanning miles track solstices and lunar standstills. Ground surveys in 2024 detected electromagnetic hotspots where compasses spin wildly. Breton folklore speaks of petrified soldiers or fairy paths. But alignments with Baklit suggest a megalithic internet transmitting data via earth currents. The Bosnian pyramids. Controversial hills near Visoko. Claimed by Samir Osmanag as artificial structures older than Giza. Feature tunnels with megalithic blocks and negative ions promoting healing. In 2025, core samples showed concrete-like material predating known civilizations with inscriptions resembling protunes. Skeptics debate, but energy readings indicate scalar wave emissions. Perhaps alien blueprints for wellness devices. These monuments shared traits. Stellar alignments. Impossible precision. Energy anomalies provoke relentless curiosity. Were they built using lost anti-gravity? Sound waves? Or telekinesis taught by extraterrestrials? Hidden chambers? Suppressed digs? And modern activations hint at active blueprints waiting for decoding. As Lyre uncovers more sites from Amazon geoglyphs to Sahar and megaliths, the questions multiply. What message do they encode? A warning, a map, or a key to our origins? The stones stand immutable, inviting the intrepid to unravel their alien enigmas, where each discovery peels back layers of a history far grander than textbooks allow. As you ponder these ancient mysteries tonight, where are you tuning in from? And what time is it there? Is it a starry midnight in Sydney or a twilight glow in Paris? Let me know in the comments. And let's see how far these stones' whispers reach across our world. Amid the veiled corridors of ancient law, where secrets were whispered in the glow of sacred fires, lies the tantalizing concept of forbidden knowledge. Insights granted to humanity that propelled us forward in startling bursts, yet carried the seeds of our potential downfall. This knowledge, often depicted as gifts from celestial visitors or fallen entities, manifests in sudden evolutionary leaps that puzzle modern scientists. The abrupt enlargement of the human brain, the swift mastery of fire and tools, and the emergence of complex societies seemingly overnight. But these advancements came at a cost. Embedding destructive elements like warfare technologies and manipulative arts that fractured societies. What if these gifts were not divine benevolence, but calculated interventions by extraterrestrial forces, engineering our path while ensuring we remained just short of their level? The echoes in myths and conspiracies suggest a hidden hand, one that continues to influence us through suppressed discoveries and elite-controlled narratives. Delve into the Sumerian accounts where the Anunnaki bestowed upon early humans the arts of metallurgy and agriculture, transforming nomadic tribes into city builders. The Enuma Elish describes Enki fashioning mankind from clay mixed with divine blood, a process that accelerated cognitive development. Paleontologists grapple with the missing link in human evolution, noting a rapid increase in cranial capacity around 200,000 years ago, coinciding with genetic bottlenecks that hint at selective breeding. Conspiracy theorists drawing from declassified documents propose this as evidence of alien genetic tampering where forbidden knowledge included DNA splicing techniques that leapfrogged natural selection. In the Book of Enoch, Azel teaches sword-making and cosmetics, gifts that fostered innovation but ignited vanity and violence, leading to societal collapse. These leaps from stone tools to bronze weapons in mere centuries defy gradualist models suggesting an external catalyst. Why then the destruction? Perhaps to maintain control, ensuring humanity's progress served a higher agenda like mining resources for off-world needs. The destructive gifts unfold in vivid tales across cultures. In Greek myth, Prometheus steals fire from Olympus, granting humans the spark of civilization, but incurring Zeus's wrath, his eternal punishment, a symbol of the perils in overreaching. This fire, metaphorical for technology-enabled cooking, which anthropologists link to brain growth via nutrient absorption. Yet, it also birthed forges for weapons that escalated conflicts. Similarly, Hindu texts describe the Brahmastra, a weapon of mass destruction invoked by sages. Its blasts leaving craters and radiation-like effects as seen in vitrified ruins across India. Archaeologists in 2024 examined Mohenjo-Daro skeletons showing signs of sudden death without warfare wounds, fueling theories of ancient atomic gifts from extraterrestrial mentors gone airy. These leaps in destructive capability from arrows to energy beams in law mirror modern conspiracies about reverse-engineered alien tech like the alleged Philadelphia experiment in 1943 where naval invisibility trials supposedly tapped forbidden knowledge resulting in crew members fused to decks. Evolutionary anomalies deepen the mystery. The human genome harbors junk DNA, non-coding sequences comprising 98% of our blueprint, which geneticists in 2025 began decoding as potential switches for latent abilities. Some fringe researchers claim these are alien inserts activated in leaps like the Cro-Magnon 40,000 years ago when art, burial rites, and symbolic thinking exploded without clear precursors. Conspiracy law ties this to the ancient aliens hypothesis where extraterrestrials accelerated our development to create a workforce, embedding self-destruct mechanisms like aggression to prevent uprising. The destructive gift here, our propensity for war, a trait that ensured population control while advancing tech through conflict. Consider the sudden appearance of agriculture 10,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, a leap that ended hunter-gatherer life, but introduced famine and hierarchy. Was this Enki's forbidden irrigation knowledge, a double-edged sword that sustained billions yet led to environmental collapse? Intriguing parallel surface in Native American myths where star people descended to teach corn cultivation and healing herbs. Gifts that transformed societies but carried warnings against misuse. The Hopi speak of kakas, masked beings from the stars who imparted prophecy but withdrew when humans turned knowledge to domination. In 2025, ethnobotanists analyzed ancient maize DNA, finding rapid mutations inconsistent with natural selection, hinting at genetic engineering. Conspiracies swirl around government suppression of such finds, like the alleged 1982 discovery in New Mexico of hybrid seeds in Anastasia ruins spirited away to seed vaults controlled by agris giants. These leaps from wild teas intake to domesticated corn in mere generations embody destructive gifts as monoculture farming now threatens biodiversity, a foreseen consequence perhaps embedded by the teachers to cycle civilizations. African traditions add exotic dimensions with the Yoruba's eris, has granting metallurgy and divination knowledge that built empires like Benin but fueled slave trades through superior weapons. The destructive element. Curses and spiritual warfare where misused wisdom invites calamity. In 2024, metallurgists examining Nok artifacts from Nigeria found alloys with tensile strengths rivaling modern steel dated to 500 before the Common Era. A leap unexplained by local resources. Theorists speculate extraterrestrial smelting techniques, hidden in oral griot tales that warn of sky iron bringing both prosperity and ruin. Global conspiracies link this to the forbidden knowledge guarded by secret societies like the Priory of Sion, allegedly holding alchemical secrets from alien-influenced Templars used today in nanotechnology that promises immortality but risks genetic dystopias. Chinese legends of the Yellow Emperor Hongdi credit him with inventions like the compass and medicine. Leaps that unified tribes but enabled imperial conquests. His battles against Qiu, a horned giant wielding fog-creating weapons, suggest destructive gifts in warfare. Archaeological digs in 2025 at the mausoleum of the first Qin emperor uncovered mercury rivers and crossbows with precision engineering, hinting at lost blueprints. Conspiracies alleged these derived from alien contacts suppressed in the Cultural Revolution to hide extraterrestrial roots of dynastic power now echoed in modern bioweapons research. Polynesian voyages represent navigational leaps with star maps and double-hulled canoes enabling ocean crossings millennia ago. Myths of Maui snaring the sun or navigating by celestial signs imply forbidden stellar knowledge destructive in overexploitation of islands leading to societal collapses like Easter Islands. In 2024, genomic studies showed rapid adaptations in Polynesian DNA for sea survival, a leap suggesting guided evolution. Theorists tie this to Mu continent visitors, their wisdom hidden in petroglyphs that align with ley lines, perhaps energy grids for global communication. DARPA's brain-computer interfaces in 2025 mirror ancient enchantments destructive in potential mind control. Conspiracies claim elite access to forbidden alien knowledge via Antarctic bases, where Nazi expeditions in the 1930s allegedly found ET archives. Leapfrogging tech like stealth aircraft. Whistleblowers described reverse-engineered implants, enhancing cognition but inducing madness. A destructive gift echoing Azel's teachings. These leaps and gifts provoke endless speculation. Were they intentional traps ensuring humanity's cycles of rise and fall? Suppressed patents for free energy in 2024 based on ancient principles suggest ongoing control as AI decodes genomes revealing alien-like sequences. The questions burn. What destructive surprises lurk in our DNA? Waiting for activation. The forbidden knowledge once gifted now haunts. A double-edged legacy that could elevate or annihilate, leaving us to ponder if our evolution was a boon or a meticulously crafted curse. Beneath the veneer of ancient epics and sacred carvings, a recurring spectacle unfolds. Colossal clashes between divine forces and monstrous giants. Battles that scar the cosmos and reshape reality itself. These are not mere fables of heroism, but visceral accounts of existential warfare where gods wield thunderbolts against earth-shaking behemoths, leaving behind craters, vitrified ruins, and a lingering question: were these mythic wars echoes of actual interstellar conflicts fought with technologies that mimic nuclear devastation? The scars they left, from fused sand in deserts to unexplained radiation in archaeological sites, suggest a history of cosmic violence that modern conspiracies claim is being systematically erased by those who fear its implications for our understanding of power. Origins. An impending doom. Envision the gigantomachy of Greek law, a cataclysmic uprising where Gaia, the Earth Mother, births serpentine giants to avenge her Titan children, hurling them against Zeus and the Olympians in a bid to topple the heavens. The gods, armed with lightning and divine fury, crush the assault, but not without the earth. Trembling mountains piled upon mountains, seas boiling, the sky rent a thunder. Heracles aids in the fray, his arrows tipped with hydropo felling Alcyonus, a giant who regenerates on his native soil until dragged away. This isn't isolated fantasy. It's mirrored in the friezes of Pergamon's altar, carved in the 2nd century before the Common Era, depicting writhing forms in agony that some art historians in 2025 interpret as stylized representations of energy weapons discharging plasma. Conspiracy circles amplify this, alleging the altar's relocation to Berlin in the 1900s was part of a Nazi occult quest to harness giant energy with declassified files, hinting at experiments during World War II that fused rock in ways eerily similar to ancient vitrified forts. These vitrified scars, walls, and hillsides turned to glass by intense heat dot the landscape like battle wounds from a forgotten Armageddon. In Scotland's hill forts like Dundee, Stones are fused as if by a blast exceeding 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, far beyond what ancient fires could achieve. Archaeologists puzzle over this. But theories from 2025 point to plasma discharges or directed energy weapons akin to those described in Hindu epics. The Mahabharata recounts the Kurukshetra war where gods and heroes unleash Brahmastra's missiles that incinerate armies, leaving lands barren for generations. Descriptions of a single projectile charged with all the power of the universe evoke nuclear blasts with after effects like hair falling out and poison water. Sites like Mohenjo-daro in Pakistan, abandoned around 1900 before the Common Era, show skeletons scattered in streets with traces of radioactivity, their bones unburied as if death came instantaneously. Conspiracy proponents citing leaked IA reports from 2024 claim these are remnants of ancient atomic wars between divine factions suppressed to hide that our nuclear age is a rediscovery, not invention, with elites hoarding the true history to monopolize such power. Norse Ragnarok amplifies the cosmic scale. A twilight where gods and giants collide in a symphony of destruction. Odin slain by Fenrir the wolf. Thor felled by Jörmungandr's venom. The world tree Yggdrasil shuddering as fire and flood consume all. Yet from the ashes a new world emerges with survivors like Lith and Lithraer repopulating the realms. This cyclical annihilation resonates with Hindu concepts of yugas where battles between devas and asuras reset cosmic order. The asuras, often giant-like demons, wield illusion and might, their wars shaking the three worlds. In the Ramayana, Rama's arrows pierce the skies, toppling Ravana's flying city. Pushpaka, a craft of golden splendor that some engineers in 2025 model as anti-gravity tech based on Vedic descriptions. What if Ragnarok and these Eastern clashes depict the same interstellar feuds? Giants as rogue extraterrestrials clashing with overseer gods over Earth's dominion. Modern conspiracies popularized on dark web forums alleged that Antarctic ice cores from 2023 contain iridium spikes, markers of asteroid impacts or cosmic weaponry dated to mythic battle eras, hidden by governments to prevent panic over recurring cycles. African and Native American traditions weave in parallel scars. The Zulus Chitauri, reptilian giants from the stars, weird with human ancestors, their conflicts leaving scorched earth and genetic legacies in shamanic bloodlines. Creedum's accounts describe beam weapons that vaporize mountains, echoing vitrified sites in the Sahara, where sand dunes are glassified in patterns suggesting aerial bombardment. In 2025, satellite thermal imaging revealed these anomalies spanning thousands of square miles with compositions matching nuclear glass from Trinity tests. Hopi prophecies speak of previous worlds destroyed by fire and ice in godly wars. Giants called Hism clashing with star beings. Their battles scarring canyons like the Grand Canyon with erosion patterns that geologists debate as natural or artificial. Conspiracy threads connect this to the Smithsonian's alleged suppression of giant skeletons from the 1900s. Bones with double rows of teeth excavated from mounds vanished into vaults to uphold Darwinian narratives. Celtic myths of the Femerins. Seaborne giants battling the Tudan in Ireland's misty fields. Describe spears of light and shape-shifting horrors ending in the submersion of their realms. The Giant's Causeway, hexagonal basalt columns, is said to be a bridge built for war. Its formation in 2024, re-examined with sonar showing underwater extensions towards Scotland, perhaps remnants of a flooded battlefield. Theorists speculate these as plasma-forged scars from energy weapons akin to those in the Bible's Gog and Magog, where giants war against divine order in end-times prophecies. South American lore of the Viraz conflicts with chaotic giants before creating the Inca adds fiery dimensions with legends of sun gods, hurling bolts that petrified foes into mountains. The vitrified towers of Saxe, once stones melted at edges, suggest heat rays in ancient sieges. In 2025, Peruvian digs uncovered charred bones with fusion marks dated to pre-Inca times, prompting whispers of extraterrestrial civil wars. Their scars terraformed into the Andes' jagged peaks. These cosmic battles with their gods and giants as proxies for higher powers leave physical and psychic scars. Radiation hotspots, anomalous craters, and myths that warn of recurrence. Conspiracy voices from Graham Hancock's documentaries to underground podcasts to claim elites excavate these sites for weaponized artifacts like crystal skulls that project holographic battle recreations when activated. The Dead Sea Scrolls as War Scroll depicts angelic armies clashing with darkness. A blueprint for Armageddon that some interpret as alien fleet engagements. In 2024, whistleblowers from Area 51 alleged simulations based on these myths. Training for giant incursions detected by deep space radars. The scars persist in unexplained phenomena. Booms over battle sites like the 1986 Tunguska event mirroring Ragnarok's flames or crop circles depicting wearing figures. As seismic activity rises in mythic hotspots, questions surge. Are these remnants awakening? Do underground bunkers house giant remains? Their DNA key to super soldier programs. The wars of gods and giants. Far from ancient bedtime stories. Maybe harbingers of cycles where cosmic forces collide again, leaving us to wonder if our world is but a battlefield in an eternal struggle. The scars a map to truths buried deep, waiting for the curious to unearth and confront the destructive legacy that could redefine our fate. Woven into the fabric of history like threads of shadow, hidden legacies persist through secret societies and surviving bloodlines. Guardians of arcane truths that trace back to the dawn of civilization. These enigmatic groups and lineages often shrouded in symbolism and ritual claim descent from ancient sages. Giants, or extraterrestrial visitors, preserving forbidden knowledge that could upend our understanding of power, destiny, and human origins. But their secrecy breeds endless speculation. Are they benevolent stewards of cosmic wisdom or manipulative cabals engineering global events to maintain an elite grip on humanity's fate? The allure lies in the whispers of royal families with blue blood anomalies, Masonic lodges encoding, alien geometries and clandestine orders like the Illuminati allegedly orchestrating world affairs from hidden chambers. As we peel back the layers, each revelation sparks more questions, drawing us into a labyrinth where blood and secrecy intertwine. The concept of surviving bloodlines begins with ancient claims of divine ancestry, where kings and pharaohs positioned themselves as intermediaries between gods and men. In Sumer, rulers trace their lineage to the Anunnaki, semidane hybrids whose elongated reigns tens of thousands of years in king lists suggest enhanced longevity perhaps from extraterrestrial genes. Egyptian pharaohs embodying Horus on Earth underwent rituals to activate Ka energy, a life force. Some Egyptologists in 2025 linked to bioelectric enhancements described in the pyramid texts. Conspiracy theorists citing genomic studies from the same year point to rare haplotypes in European nobility sequences with low mutation rates implying artificial selection. The House of Windsor, for instance, has been accused in underground forums of harboring reptilian traits. A theory popularized by David Icke, where shape-shifting elites descend from ancient hybrids. Leaked medical records from 2024 quickly debunked. Allegedly showed unusual blood types in royal families. Resistant to certain diseases, but prone to hemophilia. A curse or engineered marker. What if these bloodlines carry dormant abilities, activated in crises to guide humanity, or exploit it? Secret societies amplify this intrigue, acting as vessels for these legacies. The Freemasons with roots in medieval guilds but symbols echoing Egyptian obelisks and Sumerian stars encode knowledge in degrees of initiation. Their square and compass, tools of creation, mirror Anunnaki me artifacts, devices granting power over elements. In 2025, a former Grand Lodge member anonymously published diagrams showing Masonic temples aligned with ley lines, energy conduits that amplify rituals. Theorists speculate these are blueprints for harnessing zero-point energy, a forbidden tech suppressed since Tesla's era. with Masons guarding patents in Swiss vaults. The Society's influence in founding the United States Washington. A Mason laying the capital cornerstone in ritual garb fuels claims of a hidden agenda, embedding symbols like the all-seeing eye on currency to subliminally control masses. But why the obsession with geometry? Perhaps to replicate alien star maps as seen in the Washington Monument's alignment with Sirius, a star sacred to Dune and Egyptian law. The Illuminati, founded in 1776 by Adam Walt as a rationalist order, morphed in conspiracy law into a puppet master cabal descending from ancient bloodlines. Linked to the Bavarian elite, they allegedly infiltrated Freemasonry, their pyramid symbol representing hierarchical control. Modern twists in 2025 include accusations of biohacking using CRISPR to enhance initiate bloodlines with alien sequences for longevity. A viral deepfake video traced to a hacker collective showed world leaders in ritual garb discussing hybrid activation amid global unrest, dismissed as AI forgery but sparking investigations. Theorists tie this to the Merovingians, Frankish kings claiming descent from Jesus and Mary Magdalene, a Holy Grail bloodline protected by the Priory of Sion, as fictionalized in Dan Brown's works, but rooted in forged documents from the 1950s. Yet in 2024, French genealogists uncovered mitochondrial DNA links between European nobility and ancient Levantine samples, hinting at preserved lineages with unexplained psychic traits. Like precognition reported in royal anecdotes, surviving bloodlines extend to Asia, where Chinese emperors styled themselves as sons of heaven, their mandate justified by celestial omens. The dragon throne symbolized draconic ancestry, perhaps echoing reptilian giants in Zulu myths. In 2025, a Beijing auction of Qing artifacts included a jade seal with inscriptions matching Sumerian uniform, quickly withdrawn amid state intervention. Conspiracies alleged the Communist Party harbors imperial bloodlines in secret, using them for dragon energy rituals to maintain power with underground cities like those in Cappadocia. Hiding hybrid descendants. Japanese shoguns claimed descent from Amaterasu, the sun goddess, their samurai code infused with star wisdom. Recent Y chromosome studies in 2024 revealed a new indigenous groups with genetic markers matching ancient John giants, suggesting surviving lines with enhanced resilience, perhaps from extraterrestrial infusions. African secret societies like the Poro in West Africa guard bloodline legacies, initiating members into mysteries of the Nomo amphibious star beings, whose wisdom includes herbal elixirs for extended life. In 2025, ethnographers documented rituals where initiates report visions of aquatic hybrids, their blood-tested post-ceremony showing temporary telomere lengthening and anti-aging effect, baffling biologists. Conspiracies link this to the Dune, whose Sirius law is allegedly co-opted by Western elites in the Bilderberg Group. Annual meetings where bloodline descendants supposedly plot using hidden wisdom for economic dominance. Native American medicine societies like the Hope's Kia clans preserve bloodlines from star ancestors, their casina dances invoking beings who survived floods. In 2024, Navajo elders shared prophecies of blue star returnees interbreeding with chosen lines amid reports of UFOs over reservations. Theorists speculate government programs like MK Ultra targeted these bloodlines for psychic experiments, extracting DNA to create hybrid soldiers. The Rosicrucian emerging in the 17th century with manifestos promising alchemical mastery claim roots in Egyptian sages like Thoth. Their rose-cross symbol encodes genetic spirals, perhaps hinting at DNA manipulation. In 2025, a San Jose archive leak revealed manuscripts describing blood transfusions with elixir from preserved lineages, dismissed as forgeries but matching anti-aging trials in Silicon Valley. Conspiracies tie this to transhumanists like Elon Musk, allegedly from such bloodlines pushing neural links as modern forbidden gifts. These legacies provoke profound curiosity. Do secret societies biobank ancient DNA, engineering leaders with enhanced traits? Royal intermarriages once dismissed as politics may preserve hybrid purity. In 2025, whistleblowers from genealogy firms like 2, 3, and Me describe flagged profiles with anomalous sequences. Data sold to elites for cloning projects. The Vatican's secret archives, rumored to hold Grail bloodline records, fuel speculations of papal involvement in suppressing truths that could democratize immortality. As bloodlines and societies intertwine, what rituals activate latent powers? Underground reports describe Bohemian Grove ceremonies invoking giant spirits with participants from global elites experiencing visions of cosmic wars. These hidden legacies surviving through veils of secrecy suggest a world where blood carries codes of otherworldly origin. They're unveiling potentially shattering illusions of equality. What destructive potentials lurk in these gifts waiting for a trigger? The scars of past wars may pale against future conflicts. If these bloodlines clash again, leaving us to ponder if our leaders are human or heirs to a stellar throne, steering us toward an unknown horizon. If these shadowy legacies intrigue you, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay in the loop. Where are you unraveling these secrets from? And what's the hour where you are? Maybe it's twilight in Berlin or midday in Tokyo. Drop a comment and let's connect across the globe's hidden threads. High above the earthly veil, where constellations wheel in eternal dance, and distant worlds pulse with unseen life, humanity's story intertwines with the celestial realm in ways that defy simple explanation. The stars are not mere pinpricks of light. They are anchors of ancient narratives, portals to forgotten origins, and beacons for phenomena that blur the line between myth and modern encounters. Consider the persistent allure of Orion's belt, a trio of stars that ancient Egyptians aligned their pyramids with, believing it the gateway for pharaoh's souls to ascend. This same configuration appears in Hopi petroglyphs and Teotihuacan's layout, as if a universal blueprint was etched across cultures by hands or minds from beyond. But what cosmic intelligence dictated such precision? And why do UFO sightings spiking dramatically in recent years often cluster around these stellar alignments? Suggesting the stars are not just maps of the past, but signals for a return. The surge in unidentified flying object activity paints a vivid picture of ongoing celestial ties. In the first half of 2025 alone, over 2,000 sightings were reported across the United States, many involving craft defying physics hovering silently, accelerating instantaneously, or vanishing into thin air. New York State logged 66 unexplained aerial phenomena in that period, with witnesses describing luminous orbs weaving through city skies. These aren't isolated anomalies. Congressional hearings in August 2025 delved into fresh disclosures with whistleblowers testifying to recovered non-human biologics and craft exhibiting transmedium travel from air to ocean without disturbance. Films like The Age of Disclosure released earlier that year alleged an 80-year government cover-up featuring declassified footage of tic-tac-shaped objects outmaneuvering fighter jets. Historian Richard Dolan in interviews from January 2025 connected these to a drone mystery escalating globally, positing they as precursors to full contact. What draws these visitors back? Ancient texts hint at cycles of return, where celestial beings periodically intervene, their arrivals tied to stellar conjunctions that reset human trajectories. These cycles pulse through myths like a cosmic heartbeat, suggesting history is not linear, but a spiral of returns. Plato's Great Year, a vast cycle of 26,000 years aligning with precession of the equinoxes, spoke of alternating golden and dark ages, where civilizations rise and fall under stellar influences. In this framework, the stars dictate renewal with cataclysms purging corruption before enlightened eras dawn. Mia Eliad's concept of eternal return, drawn from archaic religions, posits rituals reenacting mythic events to regenerate time, breaking the terror of linear decay. Ancient calendars deeply entwined with mythology reflect this Mayan long count cycling every 125 years, ending worlds in floods or fires only for new creations to emerge. The Greek ages golden, silver, bronze, iron degenerate progressively, culminating in chaos before rebooting. Much like Hindu yugas, where dharma wanes until avatars return to restore balance. Scythian myths tie genealogy to celestial bodies with ancestors descending from the sun or stars, their returns heralded by comets. Astrothology unveils dying resurrecting gods like Horus or Mithras, mirroring solar cycles, their returns symbolizing cosmic rebirth. Irish folklore of cranes returning as omens connects to seasonal migrations. But on a grander scale, they embody souls cycling through realms. Even Greek philosophy via Aristotle pondered eternal returns tied to floods and celestial bodies, a geohistorical truth beneath the myths. Apocalyptic tales across cultures foresee ends by fire, flood, or celestial upheaval, yet promise renewal, as in the Norse Ragnarok or global flood survivals. UFO phenomena weave into these cycles as if the stars are recalling their emissaries. The Dune's Namo amphibious teachers from Sirius promised return when the star's companion aligns a cycle now approaching with Sirius B's orbit. Witnesses in Marley during 2020. Five's alignments reported glowing crafts syncing with global spikes. Ancient astronaut proponents see UFOs as fulfillments of prophecies. Quetzalcoatl's vowed comeback from the east now manifesting in Mexican skies with serpent-shaped anomalies. The National Archives' Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Collection, expanded in April 2025, includes military logs of star-aligned incursions declassified amid public pressure. The Age of Disclosure film argues these are staged returns. Governments prepping for contact by leaking footage. But skeptics question if it's psychological ops to distract from terrestrial tech. Human origins tie intimately to these stars. Sumerians believed the Anunnaki hailed from Nibiru, a rogue planet in a 600-year orbit, its returns bringing gods to Earth. Modern astronomers in 2025 debate Planet Nine's existence. Its elliptical path mirroring Nibiru's with infrared surveys detecting anomalous heat signatures. Zoroastrian texts foresee Saiyans return from the stars to usher renewal, paralleling messianic figures across faiths. Celtic star law connects Druidic circles to Pleiades' returns, their alignments triggering visions' modern equivalents in crop circles near Avery forming in 2025 with patterns evoking galactic maps. The cycles intrigue with their predictive power. Aztec sunstones encode 5 ages, each ending catastrophically. The current awaiting quake or fire. In 2025, seismic upticks in ring of fire zones coincide with UFO flaps as if monitoring impending shifts. Aboriginal dream time ties creation to star ancestors returning in song lines. Their paths lay lines where anomalies occur. Theorists ponder if UFOs herald a new cycle. Disclosures paving for integration or invasion. Genetic echoes bind us to stars. Mitochondrial DNA haplet types trace to African origins. But anomalies suggest stellar infusions like Rh-negative blood's alien theories resistant to toxins but rare. In 2025 studies link it to Basque lineages with UFO hotspot correlations. Astroarchaeology maps sites like Nazca lines to stellar returns. Their geoglyphs perhaps landing guides. As sightings mount over 2,000 in early 2025, the cycles feel imminent. Are stars calling home their descendants or warning of returns? The ties bind us to a vast cyclical tapestry where UFOs bridge ancient myths to future revelations, leaving us in perpetual wonder. What stellar secrets await unveiling? And will their return enlighten or eclipse us? The night sky holds the answers. Its silent vigil, a promise of cycles unending, mysteries unfolding in the quiet hours, in the swirling currents of time, where empires rise like tides, only to crash upon the shores of their own arrogance. Modern society stands at a precipice, gazing into the abyss of repeating cycles that have ensnared civilizations before us. The warnings are etched not just in crumbling ruins or faded scrolls, but in the very fabric of our present. Subtle at first, then thunderous, as hubris blinds us to the lessons of the past. Consider how the Roman Empire, bloated with conquest and self-assured might, crumbled under the weight of overextension and internal decay. A fate that historians now parallel to the United States' global entanglements, where military spending eclipses domestic needs and alliances fray like worn tapestries. This hubris, the ancient Greeks' hybris, a defiant overreach against the natural order, manifests today in our relentless pursuit of dominance over nature, technology, and even the cosmos, ignoring the rhythmic pulses of destruction and renewal that define human existence. As we hurl forward, the question lingers: are we doomed to echo the falls of Atlantis or Sumer? Or can awareness of these cycles steer us toward a different fate? The cycle of hubris and downfall pulses through history like a heartbeat, each beat a warning unheeded. In the arrogance of nations, we see patterns. Rome's myth of invincibility shattered by barbarian hordes. Britain's imperial overstretch dissolving in colonial revolts, and now whispers of similar strains in contemporary superpowers. The hegemony and hubris analysis draws stark comparisons, noting how economic innovations fuel cultural dominance only for internal corruption to erode foundations. Yet in our era, this cycle accelerates, amplified by technologies that promise godlike control. Artificial intelligence, hailed as the pinnacle of human ingenuity, embodies this modern hubris, a tool that learns, creates, and potentially surpasses us, yet carries the risk of unchecked autonomy. Warnings abound. In February 2025, discussions at Columbia Theological Seminary highlighted AI's convenience, masking deeper ethical pitfalls, where over-reliance breeds a false sense of mastery over creation. Films like Companion, released in March, portray AI as a twisted mirror of human control, where programmed companions evolve into instruments of psychological torment, reflecting our pride in playing creator without foreseeing the backlash. Google's zero-click searches rolled out amid AI advancements in May exemplify this overreach, prioritizing algorithmic answers over human exploration, a culmination of corporate arrogance that diminishes the quest for knowledge. As Gary Marcus cautions, the industry's hubris pushing boundaries without humility invites catastrophe, much like Icarus flying too close to the sun, his wings melting in the heat of ambition. What unseen scars will this leave on our society when machines born of our pride turn indifferent or hostile? Climate change serves as another stark emblem of cyclical warnings where human hubris disrupts the planet's delicate rhythms, inviting reprisals that mirror ancient floods and fires. The Climate Risk Index 2025, relaunched by German Watch, underscores the escalating toll of inaction, with extreme weather claiming lives and economies in patterns that evoke historical cataclysms. May 2025 marked the second warmest on record, with global temperatures 110 degrees Celsius above the 20th century average, a spike driven by our relentless emissions. Projections indicate 2025 could rank as the second or third warmest year, with less than a 10% chance of exceeding 1.5 degrees Celsius. Yet the trajectory warns of tipping points, melting permafrost releasing methane, accelerating loops that ancient myths might have foreseen as divine wrath. United Nations reports emphasize that greenhouse gases must peak before 2025 and drop 43% by 2030 to avert disaster. But our hubris persists in fossil fuel dependencies. The United Kingdom's Adaptation Progress Report in 2025 reveals unequivocal evidence of worsening extremes. Heat waves, heavy rains, wildfires, demanding urgent resilience. Yet political inertia echoes the complacency that doomed past societies. Indicators of global climate change. 2024 update shows human-induced energy imbalances. Hastening sea level rise beyond prior assessments. A cycle of warming that could submerge coastal cities. Much like the lost continents of legend. As heat waves grip half the United States in June 2025. We must ask, is this nature's retribution for our overreach or the unfolding of a predictable cycle we refuse to heed? Unidentified flying object disclosures add a layer of ethereal warning where celestial phenomena intersect with human fate, hinting at cycles of intervention that could either save or seal our doom. Rice University's UFO conference in May 2025 delved into archives of the impossible, exploring phenomena that challenge scientific paradigms. Contact in the Desert held from May 29th to June 2nd gathered experts on alien sightings and congressional updates probing revelations of extraterrestrial presence. New York residents reported 66 unidentified anomalous phenomena in the first half of 2025. Objects whizzing across skies in patterns that evade explanation. The Exat UFO Festival, planning for 2025, continues to commemorate historic sightings, blending education with speculation on non-human intelligence. Films like The Age of Disclosure, alleging an 80-year government cover-up, fuel debates on recovered craft and biologics, with BU experts weighing in on NASA's investigative panels. The Ozark Mountain UFO Conference in Eureka Springs, a 37-year tradition, draws attendees to dissect disclosures, while World UFO Day on July 2nd celebrates with events like Roswell's Festival. Hearings on unidentified anomalous phenomena expose truths as in the Oversight Committee sessions. Probing the unknown. In this cycle of revelation, hubris lies in assuming we control the narrative governments, withholding data, perhaps fearing societal upheaval, while sightings escalate, whispering of a return that could redefine our fate. Historical cycles underscore these warnings where hubris precipitates downfall in predictable waves. The arrogance of nations condemns them as seen in Rome's fall. Mirroring potential. U.S. declines through overreach. Taoist perspectives impart humility, urging avoidance of pride as power peaks. A wisdom modern leaders ignore at peril. The hubris nemesis complex analyzed in Rand studies warns against pride leading to downfall. A pattern from ancient Greece to today. Examples abound. Figures whose overconfidence invites ruin. Paralleling our era's tech titans. Pushing AI without safeguards. Satirical folk tales like the Golden Trumpet mock power's pride. Echoing New Testament calls for humility amid division. Our fate hangs in this balanced cycles of hubris threatening collapse yet offering renewal if heeded. Climate tipping points loom. AI risks autonomy. UFOs hint at oversight. Will we transcend or repeat the ancient plunge? The warnings surround us in warming skies and enigmatic lights, urging reflection on a path where curiosity might yet avert the fall. Leaving the future an open enigma ripe with possibility and peril. As these cycles whisper through time, they invite us to pause, to question, and to dream of what lies beyond the stars. Sleep well, my fellow seekers, and may your dreams cradle the secrets of the cosmos. Good night.